Thanks for joining us here today for this webinar about Oregon Humanities SHARP grants and how to apply for them. I'm Dawn Smallman. I'm the Grants and Programs Coordinator at Oregon Humanities. I help manage our grants program, including helping people apply for grants who have questions, need more info, or would like some extra assistance. If you have questions about your organization's eligibility for this grant, question about the grant requirements, or questions about how to fill out the grant application itself, we're here to help you. Please reach out to me at d.smallman@oregonhumanities.org, or you can call me at 503-241-0543, extension 110, and you can book time to go over your questions with me over the phone. Oregon Humanities is super excited to be offering at least $675,000 in SHARP grants to Oregonians doing excellent humanities work in their communities. Before we dig into the details of the SHARP grants, I'd like to introduce you to my colleague, Lucy Solara-Steger, a member of our grants team, so she can tell you a bit more about the work we do here at Oregon Humanities. Hi, Lucy.
Hola, hello. Me llamo Lucy. My name is Lucy Solara-Steger, and I'm the program assistant for Oregon Humanities. I provide general support for our programs team, which includes, but is not limited to, database support, collaborative planning, and answering any questions folks might have about what we do here at OH. Please feel free to reach out to me about anything at all, and I'll gladly have a chat with you or connect you to the right person. My contact info is l.solares@oregonhumanities.org, and my phone extension is 503-241-0543, extension 112. So now a little bit about Oregon Humanities. Oregon Humanities is the State Humanities Council associated with the National Endowment of the Humanities, a federal government agency created in 1965 to support the government's investment in American culture. OH brings Oregonians together across differences of background, experience, and belief. Each year, we offer hundreds of public conversations, participatory workshops, and educational programs and events. We also train and support dozens of discussion facilitators who are available to help communities throughout Oregon. We award grants and fellowships to people and organizations doing exceptional cultural and humanities work in and around our state. We also publish a free award-winning magazine featuring Oregon writers and artists. We administer the program for Oregon's Poet Laureate in collaboration with the Oregon Cultural Trust, and we also do much more. All of our work is focused on helping Oregonians connect, reflect, and cultivate a stronger sense of agency in their communities. You can find us online at www.oregonhumanities.org. On our website, you can sign up and subscribe for our e-newsletters as well as our magazine. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well.
Oregon Humanities is one of 54 state and jurisdictional humanities councils receiving a portion of $51.6 million in federal emergency relief funding. The funding is intended to support local cultural groups and public and educational humanities programming that has been adversely affected by COVID-19. This funding is part of a $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, known as ARP, which is distributed by the National Endowment for the Humanities. SHARP grants help sustain the humanities through the American Rescue Plan. The primary purpose of SHARP funding is to help humanities organizations and programs prevent, prepare for, respond to, or recover from the impacts of the coronavirus. Understanding this will be really important when you write your SHARP grant applications. Oregon Humanities will award at least $675,000 in total SHARP funding to organizations throughout Oregon. The maximum amount a single organization can apply for is $20,000, and you are limited to one SHARP application. Information and the applications can be found on our website at www.oregonhumanities.org/programs/grants. Look for the section that's titled COVID-19 Emergency SHARP Grants.
Now I'll go over the grant deadlines and timeframes, which will also be on the screen. Our online portal for applications opens July 1st, 2021. The application submission deadline is Friday, August 27th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The funding award date will be early November 2021, and the selected grantees will receive the funds no later than December 31st, 2021. The grant period that the grantees can use these funds is as early as December 1st, 2021 through October 31st, 2022. Grantees are required to fill out 2 reports and an organizational budget. The interim report and budget are due on May 3rd, 2022. These links will be provided in the grant agreement document. Grantees are also required to file a final report due November 30th, 2022, and this link will also be provided in the grant agreement document.
There are 2 types of SHARP grants available for those who qualify. Which type might be right for your organization? Let's talk about the first type of grant, which is our General Operating Support Grant. This grant supplies, obviously, general operating support funds, but only for humanities-focused organizations. There are 4 types of organizations who might be eligible for the General Operating Support Grant. Oregon nonprofit organizations, as reported to the IRS, who already have an existing EIN and are a 501c3 tax-exempt status. Accredited public and 501c3 institutions of higher education, state and local government agencies, and federally recognized Native American tribal governments. All applicants must have been financially impacted by COVID-19. Applicants must have a 2021 operating budget under 1.5 million unless the applicant is a federally recognized Native American tribal government. Fiscal sponsors are not allowed for the General Operating Support Grants. This grant supports the cost to operate your organization during the COVID-19 pandemic and to recover from losses due to COVID-19, including costs like covering your rent and mortgage, covering staff salaries, paying insurance or utilities. There are no matching funds required to apply for this grant, but if you receive the grant, there are a few restrictions on the kinds of activities that you can use the grant funding for. You could not use funding to cover foreign or domestic travel or fundraising activities, for example. Now let's talk about the second type of grant available, which is the Project Support Grant. This grant is available to any organization creating humanities-focused projects or programs, even if they are not primarily organizations that are humanities-focused in their mission. There are 4 types of organizations who are eligible for the Project Support Grants within that. Oregon nonprofit organizations, as reported to the IRS with an existing EIN and a 501c3 tax-exempt status. Accredited public and 501c3 institutions of higher education, state and local government agencies, and federally recognized Native American tribal governments. All applicants need to have been financially impacted by COVID-19. All applicants must have a 2021 operating budget under 1.5 million unless the applicant is a federally recognized Native American tribal government. Fiscal sponsors are not allowed for the Project Support Grants. Project Support Grants support costs to operate your organization's projects, events, or programs during the pandemic and to recover from losses due to COVID-19. It can cover the costs for things like running a public humanities program or event that's a community storytelling event or a conversation event, or a program centered on the passing down of culture or traditions. Costs to expand your humanities programs, such as taking your events outdoors or moving your events and your programs online during COVID. There are no matching funds required to apply for this grant, but if you receive the grant, there are a few restrictions on the kinds of activities that you can use the grant for. The full short list is on our website, but I'll give you a couple examples here for restricted activities for the project grant. It would include things like the purchase of equipment or activities that fall outside of the humanities, including the creation and performance of art, creative writing, the writing of autobiographies and memoirs.
So now I'll go over how to apply for our SHARP grants. Our applications are done through our online portal, which will be on our website. You can work on the applications in stages. Just be sure to save it before you close it, and you can return to your unfinished application. The materials you'll need to prepare and include in your application are the following: a completed W-9 form for your organization. If you're a 501c3, you'll need your Internal Revenue Service letter of determination. If you're a 501c3, we'll also need your 2021 signed and approved board budget. You'll also need a DUNS number. To register for a DUNS number, we suggest you use the link provided on our website. This link is the no cost, so free and quickest route to register for receiving a DUNS number. It typically takes only a couple of business days if you use this link. You'll also need to fill out the Oregon Humanities provided budget worksheet so we can see how you plan on using the funding and how it fits into your organization's budget. If you have questions specifically about how to complete the OH budget worksheet, Leslie Bennett, who is our Oregon Humanities Finance Director, will be hosting an online Zoom office hour on Thursday, July 29th from 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please email Dawn or myself for the Zoom link and we'll happily provide it to you. Leslie can also be reached at her email, which is finance@oregonhumanities.org.
Now let's talk about how to write a strong, sharp application. We'd like you to provide a clear view of your work and your organization's mission and public impact. Tell us about the impact your work has had on creating, supporting, and preserving community. Tell us about the hardships that COVID-19 has caused your organization, both operationally and financially. Tell us how you would use the funding to prevent, prepare for, respond, or recover from the impacts of the coronavirus.
We're committed to funding organizations across Oregon that have been affected by COVID-19. Knowing that we have limited grant funds to award and that we're committed to funding organizations and communities that have historically been underserved, we're prioritizing funding to organizations that are based in and led by rural communities. We define rural as locations in Oregon 10 or more miles from a population center of 40,000 people or more. Also, organizations led by Black, Indigenous, and/or people of color and their communities. However, all applications are welcome regardless of an organization's size, location, leadership, or audience. We encourage any organizations new to Oregon Humanities to apply if they meet all the eligibility requirements. If you have questions about your eligibility, please reach out.
Any question you have, just reach out to Lucy or myself and we'll get you the help that you need. Again, my email is d.smallman@oregonhumanities.org. My phone number is 503-241-0543, extension 110. Thanks everybody who's watching for your interest in Oregon Humanities Sharp Grants. We're really looking forward to helping these emergency funds reach and support the excellent humanities work that is happening all around our state.
Yes, we're really excited to get this funding out to those who need it, those who deserve it. Again, my name is Lucy. My email as well is l.solares@oregonhumanities.org. My phone number extension is 503-241-0543, extension 112. Please reach out with any questions, any thoughts you have. If you feel you're ineligible, please reach out. You might be eligible. Any questions or clarity at all, we are super excited to get this going. Thanks, everyone.